comes the hammer, knocks out a few, keeps able to pick up Yaxter. Wavestar is able to pick up two.
Immortality field, and Ninja Curly Fry's just gonna pop. There's a triple, there's a quadra kill.
Got a crazy thing though. And now the rest of them are gonna get off the edge.
Are we sure? Oh! You can't see goes to the first headshot of the game.
size. DeLucio can't contest, and Ball State is going to take the first point. They're up 1-0 in the series.
That blitz is going to come out. It's going to allow them to get Ludwig, Nightmare, Echo, Karma, Erlington. The entire BGSU team is going to fall. From Akron, sit and run. It's going.
I see right here. He might move someone off the map. There goes that. There goes that.
Oh my God. Back outside. I think we're going to see another team wipe, and that's number 2.
Hello and welcome into magnificent Muncie, Indiana, right here where Ball State University is located. And on that campus, we are currently inside the Esports Arena.
Indeed.
And tonight, I do believe, we have some Overwatch.
News to me, but from what I am hearing, we are in Robert Bell Building 134 in the Ball State campus. And what you said, magnificent Muncie, that's not how I would describe Muncie. Usually. I wouldn't say magnificent.
Well, what would you use to describe Muncie?
Marvelous. But tonight we have CMU versus our very own Ball State Cardinals. Central Michigan is lower in the standings than Ball State, and Ball State is now dropped to 3rd in the standings, unfortunately. But we'll get to that later. Tonight's match should be in Ball State's favor, seeing that we beat them before, and it should probably be a 3-0. But let's take a look more at those season standings that we've already hinted to a little bit. So we got tonight's matches, actually. There we go. Season standings. Miami in first, obviously, after losing to Miami 2 weeks ago. Ball State drops down to 3rd. They also lost to NEU the week prior to that. And then CMU, the teams tonight that we are facing, 2-9, opportunity for an upset.
Yeah, so if you're looking at standings here, you want to be looking at those top 6 teams. Those top 6 teams will make the playoffs, and guess what? This is the last week to do so. It is crunch time for a lot of these teams. Read off the standings real quick. Miami up at top, undefeated. They came to Ball State. They beat Ball State at Ball State. They remain undefeated, 11-0. NEU also has a win over Ball State, 10-1. Ball State down there in 3rd, 9-2. Falling behind them, the Ohio Bobcats, 8-2. Kent State at 7-4. Akron at 6-4. And BGSU at 6-5. This is where things can get a little hairy because it's so close to the playoffs, and I see 3-4 teams here that are looking and eyeing to get that final spot in the playoffs, because you've got WMU and NIU both there at 5 and 6, and then from there on out, it is very impossible and improbable that anyone makes the playoffs. But we'll read it off just because. EMU at 3-8. We played them last week. U Buffalo at 2-8. Central Michigan, the team we're playing here tonight, 2-9. And NKU and U Toledo round out the ESC, both 0-10, not having the seasons that they desired. But nonetheless, you have to keep playing Overwatch. You just got to keep doing the dang thing.
Yeah.
And last week we talked a lot about trends, Zane and I did. And we do very, very well, especially later in the season, against these back half runners, the CMUs, the EMUs, the U Buffaloes. We played Buffalo earlier in the year, and that is no knock against any of these programs. It's just a matter of the fact that here we are in the season. They're out of the playoffs. They don't have a whole lot to play for, so they really have nothing to lose. So they're playing like they have nothing to lose.
Yeah. And, I mean, just talk about that a little bit. You mentioned only the top 6 teams are the ones that are going on to play in the playoffs. And the teams at risk currently that still have a chance to get in are BGSU, WMU, and NIU. That is Bowling Green, Western Michigan, and Northern Illinois.
And then Akron also has the ability to lose of the playoffs as well.
Yeah, so BGSU has actually played one more game than Akron. Akron had their bye earlier in the season. They have one more extra game to play to BGSU. If BGSU wins out the next 2 weeks, I think they have their bye coming up as well. And then Akron loses out. BGSU has an opportunity to get in, and now if both of those teams get out, we could see WMU or NIU to come up because they're both at 5 and 6. Akron 6 and 4, BGSU at 6 and 5, and Kent. Very unlikely that Kent would fall, but they are 7 and 4, so they're kind of right on that. You know, if they don't win these next couple matches, I'm not sure who they're playing, but if they don't win these next couple matches, they lose out, and everybody else wins out, they could be knocked out.
Well, and it's always super interesting on the road to the playoffs. Like these past, like I feel like no matter what game it is in the ESC, these final 3 to 4 weeks are always so unpredictable. And these are when the teams really come out and shine. And these teams that very early in the year maybe struggled to start, they come out and they have a very, very good second half of the season, and then they end up in the playoffs. But this all determines on the matches that are going to take place tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Tonight's matches include Bowling Green versus Eastern Michigan, Miami versus U Buffalo, Kent State versus WMU. Keep an eye on that game. Akron and NEU also keep an eye on that game. Ohio versus NKU and NIU versus Toledo. Like I said, the Kent State WMU game is going to be massive because those are two teams right there on the fringe. One can lose out, one can win in. Same thing with Akron and NEU. NEU already has a spot solidified in the playoffs, but if they beat Akron, that's another loss on Akron's record and makes it a lot more probable that they will miss the playoffs if they don't get it together.
Yeah, so like you said, the biggest one to watch here is Kent State versus WMU, in my opinion. Just because if Kent wins, that secures their spot and kicks WMU's chances down the drain to get into the playoffs. But if WMU wins, that helps them. And if Kent loses, that can be bad for them because they only have one more week to make sure they solidify their spot in the playoffs. Now, the other one is BGSU. BGSU has, I think they have their bye either next week. I believe they have their bye next week. They would need to have a bye because they'd still have one up on Akron and one more game on a couple other people. So they probably have the bye next week. So they would need Akron to lose to NEU, which is very, very possible with NEU being the second seed. And Akron could lose that game and BGSU could bump itself back up.
It could, and that's why I want to take a look at the matches because it really all comes down to that Kent State and Western Michigan game, especially for that last playoff spot, the last couple. I know we're talking about it a lot, but it's what's important. I mean, playoffs, you don't make playoffs, then, the entire season kind of feels like a letdown, and you don't ever want to end the season on a letdown.
No. That'd be pretty upsetting, I'd say. And unfortunately, I feel like occasionally the Ball State Cardinals fall into that little spell, but hopefully not this season. We've had that before. I know you're going to say. And
no,
let me rephrase it. Okay, go ahead.
One team that has not fallen into that trap is our League of Legends team who won the ESC title this past weekend.
I was about to say congratulations to them. We were both watching it. We actually had a little bit of a NASCAR race right before that when the sim racing team was like, hey, you guys want to race? We're like, sure. But we went up there, congratulated them. They had a fantastic match. I believe they won 3-1.
3-1, yep.
3-1 against who did they play?
U Buffalo.
U Buffalo, that was right. U Buffalo, who I think they also played last year as well.
No, they played NEU last year.
But NEU,
and they played
the year prior. They played U Buffalo, and U Buffalo knocked them out.
Yeah. So the funny thing about U Buffalo is every year it's an even year. So 2020, 2022, and 2024 supposedly. They won the title every single even year. So 2020, Buffalo won the title. 2022, Buffalo won the title. 2024, Buffalo made it to the dance, but they couldn't get it done.
Couldn't kick out the Cardinals.
Cardinals finally get it done. Last
Couldn't do it.
Last year, they got to the finals, undefeated, fell up short. This year, returned, also undefeated, I do believe, and won the entire thing. So congrats.
We got to get a fact checker up here with us.
We do.
We really do need to get a fact checker because I feel like sometimes we just say things and we don't know if it's true. And say things about this program that we're not entirely sure about, but we just go with it because why would you guys know? Unless you guys are watching League of Legends, which if you do, I respect you. I can only watch the finals. That's the only time I can watch League of Legends for that long period of time. I couldn't even watch it for that long. We had the race.
I guess.
All respect to League of Legends. I mean, I respect you guys. But, man, too many characters.
But really, congrats to Cam.
It was awesome.
That entire team deserves it. I know how much effort and work they've put in, especially after last year coming up just short in the finals. So it was a really, really good moment to see our league team finally bring home another trophy.
Yeah, it's a good story to have. I mean, after the upset last year, this is something that they definitely needed, and I'm sure it feels great. But now, focusing our attention back to this match, especially, let's take a look at who is going to be playing today. You guys know him. Let's take a look. Love him. Here's our Ball State roster. You guys know him. You guys know him.
Yeah, you know him.
You know him. You know him.
For real, for real.
For real, for real. On tank, we got Spencer. On DPS, we got Ninja Curly Fry, and You Can't See Ghost. Support is Yakester and Raven Strider. Yarp. Thank you. Raven Strider, my spring games team captain, ready to kick some butt tomorrow.
Yeah, so you want to talk about spring games. Last year in Overwatch, I had to face Yakester and Raven Strider on the same team in Overwatch.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I had to face Hornbach, and I think a bunch of I had to face Hornbach's team, who are the people that won. Yeah, and it was awful. We got our butt handed to us. So yeah, but now we know that team is gonna perform tonight. They've had a couple hiccup games. Their win against EMU set them back on the right track, but prior to that,
one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that EMU did take a round off of us.
They did take a round off of us, which is really out of character for this, and it almost seems like the momentum that we had at the beginning of the season is starting to slow down. And from a team that we thought was really consistent is starting to show some cracks in the armor and showing some inconsistencies.
Well, you want to know why I don't think that's an issue?
Why?
Because they're adaptable.
They are.
The adaptability of this team is unmatched.
Every time you say that, we need a button that just pops it up on the screen, like the imagination.
I might as well be. 3 years saying this. You gotta get it. I gotta get it in somehow every single time.
Right. We need subtitles. We need live update subtitles, but not the ones that they show on NPC in the Mexican restaurant that you go to at 2 p.m. You know when they have those really behind black subtitles that you try to look at the TV.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When you go to a restaurant and they have Are
you just talking about normal?
Newscast. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you go super hyper specific with it when it was just something that everyone's probably experienced one time or another?
This is the caffeine kicked in right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I completely lost what we were talking about now.
Well, we were talking about adaptability and how adaptable this team is, and that's why I don't think, they've had a stumble here, a stumble there. But I think this team, especially under the watchful eye of Ada up there, we know that what this team can do. It's a matter of can they stay consistent enough to do that every single week. Here in the later half of the season, it's been brought into question, but they always have finished strong. They lost that first round to EMU, and they mollywopped them the next 3 rounds. There's no other way to say it. I mean,
there's no nice way to put it.
They stormed back very, very pissed off, and they made their mark felt on the ESC. And I think that was almost kind of like a shot into the ESC. They said, all right, you want to take a round off of us? We'll take 3 in a row, and we'll just win, and we'll go on to the next week. So I have no questions on if this team is consistent. Will this team perform? This team always is ready and willing and able.
Yep.
So they're always going to perform, and that's never a question. The question is, will CMU perform? Well, let's take a look at their roster and find out.
Yeah. So we got my personal favorite name aside, I think right behind Dexter Pittman is Pooper that we've seen this year. And then we got Zach on tank. Then on DPS, we got Zach and McRadical is what I'm going to pronounce that as. So I had to tilt my head like 90 degrees to be able to see that.
Radical dude.
And then we got Crispy Toast and Nigro on support, or Nero on support. I've not seen this team, but if the record says anything, this is gonna be they're gonna have to work hard for tonight.
I'm glad you got it out, but I will say this: Eastern Michigan also has a very, very similar record, and they are way better than their record indicated.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Ball State has this thing of underestimating some people, especially when they have momentum going into the season. And I feel like we've seen that in the seasons past and now this season going on. With NEU, maybe Miami as well. Miami's a bit of a different story because of how tough of an opponent they are. As you can see, but they're still undefeated, 11-0, last undefeated team of the ESC. But, I mean, yeah, you never know with these teams. You never know with the Michigans, I guess. The Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, who knows? We could get mollywopped again, as you said, by another Michigan in the first round. But you never know what could happen. But I still think that CMU is going to have to pull out all the stops, be attentive all the way through, be adaptable all the way through, not stop, continuously put on the pressure to be able to beat this Ball State team.
Well, not only that, that is kind of like so far has been the key to beating this Ball State team is pacing. They lost to NEU, and Otta willingly admitted we got outpaced. We never got out of the blocks. We never got our feet set under us, and that's why we lost. Same thing with Miami. Miami came out, quick pace, quick tempo, a pick here or there that threw things off. We were actually highly critical of that Echo pick, and then it ended up paying dividends for both teams in the end. So it's just that fast pace that you have to keep up against these Cardinals.
Yeah.
If you do that, then you'll win.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it after the match against Miami as well. They played the perfect game against Ball State, and that was the pacing, and that was playing smart because, behind Otta, with Otta behind them, this team, as we've said before, we said it early in the season that we mentioned like the first 2 weeks, this Ball State team is playing smarter than usual, but I feel like they're starting to lose their touch a little bit, and that's why we've been seeing a little bit of cracks. And that might just be the momentum slowing down or just getting late in the season. And you have a bit of a,
we're in the dog days of the season now.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where you can't have these mistakes. You have to be performing 100% all the time.
Or else these back half teams will jump up and they'll get you, like that one round last week against EMU.
And NEU, I would say, even.
Yep.
Because we were the favorites going into that, but we had... But it was spring break. Our players hadn't been playing, and we came back. We were just not ready for NEU, and I feel like that might have been a bit of underestimation. I don't know if that's a word.
Underestimation. Don't think it is, but I like it.
Underestimation.
Because it's hard to say.
It is really hard to say, as I took 3 times to say it, but third time's a charm.
Well, what else is incredibly hard are these highlights we're about to show you. It is a very, very solid Winston, I will say that.
First, like, oh! Oh!
Come on, man.
10-player kill streak, and he's just rushing forward.
Make
he's
it 11!
at their spawn!
Yeah, and I also like to point out that Spencer switched to the Orisa that one time and has not switched off. He has been on Orisa the entire time. 2K there.
Oh.
Speaking of, Spencer gets a 2K there and an entire team kill for the rest of the team. Does not matter who he plays, who any of them play. They're going to come through and they're going to steamroll these Eagles. Your ex-husband now.
Yeah, that is true. The Force is still fresh, just like how House is freshly dead. Oh, and so is Tracer, so is Indigo.
Take it. Chill! Chill! 4K there for You Can't See Ghost. Absolutely spearheading the attack. Well, I guess the defense might as well have been an attack, how vicious it was.
So the Eagles kind of like hawks. Red.
Yeah.
If you're colorblind.
How about you make like a tree and bark out of here, bro?
And now looking at the EMU's team, this is the perfect time to choose Genji because they're not going Winston or Symmetra right now.
I think some like it bot.
Yeah. So I wasn't even paying attention to the poster. I was like, what? I was trying to think of Ramatra.
You think I was talking about Ramatra? Come on,
he's a
man.
robot.
This is a PG stream. Be enough to get a pick or two. Dr. Rose now falls. House falls. How apropos, one after the other, Blue, Silver, B, and one more remains. Indigo, just like Frank Sinatra, EMU's mood is now Indigo.
And yeah, no fun to be seen at all.
Yeah, I bet Eastern Michigan wasn't having too much fun playing that Orisa, because I know no one has fun playing against Orisa.
So from the wise words of Zane, isn't an eagle just like a hawk, but red?
I mean, it's truly a question I ponder a lot.
Yeah. Every time I go to sleep and think of the Chirpy's nomination music in my nightmares, I think of that too. So.
Yeah, that's some real like
some deep
induce like you just induce
yeah,
like
it's
so
like
much angst and
pretty
panic.
sure Gandhi said that.
You think Gandhi said that?
I think so.
You think Gandhi said when I go to sleep the Chirpies
No, I think you said the thing about the Hawks are like Eagles, but Reds. Red. Yeah.
The
I
Reds?
think you said.
You want to talk about the Reds?
I do not. I do
we can
not.
talk about
Hey,
the Reds.
Let's talk about what we need to talk about in the actual run of shows.
Yeah, so
Take it away.
Yeah, so this summer, Ball State Esports is actually holding 3 summer camps. From June 21st to 23rd, Ball State Esports will be running an on-campus and overnight Esports plus STEM camp for middle school students. And then from June 24th to June 27th, we will be hosting high school students on campus for their own Esports and STEM camp. This camp is absolutely free, and spots will fill up fast, so if you are at all interested, make sure you sign up at the website I will provide towards the end, or you see it right there on your screen, down there in the bottom left, ccimoutreach.com/esports camps. But lastly, from July 15th to July 19th, Ball State Esports will be running 2 online summer camps for high school Valorant and Rocket League players. This camp will have participants working directly with our professional coaches individually and in small groups. This camp has extremely limited availability, so sign up ASAP. Like I said earlier, for any questions or anything to sign up, make sure you go to ccimoutreach.com/esports-camps. You see all the dates right there on the screen for middle school, high school, and the virtual camp specifically for esports. Do keep in mind the middle school and high school camps are both esports and STEM related. The virtual camp a lot more esports focused, since that is for Valorant and Rocket League high school players. So once again, ccimoutreach.com/esports-camps for any more. I would go ahead and sign up. I mean,
I wish I had that. I wish I knew about this before it came on. I could.
that's funny because Zane said literally the same exact thing
Really?
last week, like verbatim.
Right after the thing about the
Yes.
Eagles and Hawks.
Well, no, that was a little after.
All right, gotcha. But no, I wish that sounds cool.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I
No.
could. Maybe I could have been up there on the stage playing Rocket League.
I know. I don't know about Rocket League. I don't think
My
we can
high
get to
plat
there.
self.
My unranked self.
No, but those camps are
I'm bad at video games.
really, really great opportunities, especially for middle schoolers and high schoolers, and especially for Valorant or Rocket League players that want to take that next step going into the collegiate esports scene. Like I said, all those camps have limited ability, and the spots will fill up fast. So if you have any interest at all, do not hesitate to sign up.
And even if you're here just for the like playing part aside, you'll also be around everything that we do for production, so you'll be able to look at everything and check it out. And if that's something you're also interested in, I mean, you probably won't be able to get a whole in-depth tour, or maybe somebody would. Dan will probably be here. I'm sure he would. But yeah, you can come check all that stuff out too and see what you're really into. I mean, the production stuff here, we have the best. We won program of the year 2 years in a row. Not to brag. 2?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my phone. How unprofessional of me.
All right. Yeah, bring your phone on.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what I have my script on.
Yeah.
Who would have
Didn't
guessed?
even write it down or print it out. Wow.
Yeah, I know. How amateur of me.
Wow.
I don't even know why they let me up here on this desk, to be honest.
Nope. With that really far back leaning chair, which I still
Hey,
don't.
come on, man. Come on.
Oh, we need to do a stream like that where we both just fully lean back with the camera up here. And it's not even like, it's just like an iPhone camera connected to NDI. It's great. Like, he's gone. You can't even see him. All you can see is his arms and part of his mic. Can you even get back up like that? Something just popped, and I don't know what it was.
That was the chair, buddy.
Okay.
You know what else is going to pop? This matchup
Cardinals?
here tonight.
Okay.
It's going to pop like fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We are gonna-
I've already say, I do believe we're actually going into game here soon.
We can stop speaking gibberish, finally. Oh, my gosh.
We can speak Bassanese now.
Or
Salmonese.
What? What is that?
That's what bass and salmon speak. Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmonese.
Salmon. What? That's not a real thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Speak some Salmonese right now.
We did last week. Look it up. Do you not watch the product?
No! Sometimes. I'm so sorry. I just outed myself there. We're going to the game. Let's see what's the game. We got, all right, let's take a look at the picks that we've already got going. Let's just completely gloss over the past 30 seconds of what just happened. Ball State versus Central Michigan, just in case you forgot, because I almost did. And Ball State, you can't
With
see
everything
Ghost.
that's transpired in the
I
past
know.
minute and a half, you might as well.
I know. We got Ghost and Ninja Curly Fry on the DPS. Symmetra, Soldier, Spencer. Ninja Curly Fry is going to do the quick teleport, then switch back on the Tracer. This map is going to be big for space control. You can see already with the high ground, Central Michigan is going to jump down. You can't see Ghost tries to get the high ground of his own. Spencer pushing up highly. You can see the entirety of Central Michigan just using this Orisa to push the flank. They're all hiding behind that corner. Big Boop pushes them around the corner, trying to find some picks in the back line. But CMU quickly recovers. They're low on health, though. Zach is low. This might be the first pick of the game if they can get him low. Zach just barely hanging on to dear life. Hooper now really low. Ball State doing a great job with his damage output, but CMU's getting this healing out early. Early ult, but Hooper's going to go down nonetheless.
Yeah, and that's going to take a lot of getting used to hearing that name a lot. But
It is. It's like Dexter Pittman and LeBron James all over again.
But I think it's absolutely absurd that not only did the Lucio get their ult, they used it in the very first team fight. Not absurd that they used it because they used it practically. It's absurd how fast they got it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at our team now, all 5 ults are going to be up. And this is a big, big thing Ball State talked about last week was working on their ult eco. And if you look at this, they're doing it as perfectly as you can. You've got all of your ults. Central Michigan only has 2. With Pooper's ult now being up. Oh! Yep, there we go. I was literally waiting for the Orisa to pop her ult. Ninja Curly Fry doesn't matter! Gets 2!
Out comes the, what's his name? Ramatra ult. Going for the tank, finds him. That's big momentum for Ball State. They have control of the point. That percentage is ticking up, up, up. 40 on the ticker so far. Central Michigan needs to retake this soon. If they lose this next fight, I have a really good feeling Ball State's going to win this. This might be the last fight, depending on how long the fight is. They've got 1 or 2 left in them.
I was ready to say, with how long team fights are in Overwatch 2 now, since there's only 5 people left and they decided to give everyone more health and said, well, why not? Why don't we make team fights 30 minutes long?
Let's also make Mercy able to hit around corners.
Yeah, let's destroy our game and make it very unplayable and not very fun. But what is fun is talking about Ultico again. Ball State has 2 ults up right now, Central Michigan none. And they've pushed all the way around over to the side of Ball State's point. And now the thing I like to point out here, you talk about that cover. Here comes UKC goes Salt. Ninja Curly Fry gets 1. Strap in. This could be a little nutty here. They're all trapped in that corridor.
Buckle up your seatbelts.
Mayall comes out, tries to clear people out, only gets 1, but Pooper falls. It doesn't matter. All null and void. Moira was on the point, but she's easy pickings for the rest of this Ball State team. And just like that, round over.
Yeah, that was great from Ball State. CMU had the right. There it is, 1 fight left. That fight lasted long enough, and that might have been Ball State's intention, but you saw a lot of good ideas come out from Central Michigan, but Ball State just had a counter for each and every one. The Maywall blocking off Spencer from the rest of the team, trying to cut off his healing support. It worked for a second there, but Ball State was able to just get around that wall quick. The wall was a little bit too far to the right, and it still was allowed some healing to seep through towards Spencer and keep him alive. Right now we're seeing a lot of good from Central Michigan, but the execution is just not there.
I was about to say, you know what's even better? A single fight during that entire thing was on the point, and that was them killing the Moira to get her off the point. Every other fight was completely off the point, which is very par for the course for this Ball State team. They love turning those team fights into macro and micro fights, you know, those 2v1s, which is what has really proven an issue with Ball State is teams that stick together.
I mean, Orisa already down to half health, just not getting the support she needs. And Spencer allowing to move forward, looking for 1, finds the Lucio. He's low on health, gets knocked back. They should have kept him up there. CMU should have, but they allow him to get healing. That boop was a bad boop from CMU. They should have brought him closer and keep him in their trap, but now Ball State can just go in and shred as they take the point. Easy first fight for Ball State. Spencer showing why he is the tank.
And that's also something else I think Ball State is really, really good at, is they know what fights they can take and what fights they can't. They have no hesitation in pulling out and completely returning to spawn and just waiting until their team is back up. That's what a lot of teams in ESC don't have down pat. They want to stand in there. They want to try and get that kill, but they also can't decide if they can win the fight or not, so they're kind of stuck in that in between. Do we go back? Do we keep fighting? But Spencer gets the headshot on Sojourn, and if I was CMU, I'd be falling back like they are. You don't want to go in there down to DPS, but Ball State smells blood in the water, and just like Sharks, Sharks may not fly, but here we do, and they're going to take it straight to CMU.
I don't know. Sharknado seems like a really realistic movie. Anyway.
Don't talk to me about Sharknado. I love Sharknado.
It's a crazy movie, and out comes the ult for You Can't See Ghost and the ult for Orisa. That's going to pick up a few, but a great counter from Yakester with the Lucio ult. And a couple more ults are going to come out. I believe that's 3 for Ball State now. They wasted their whole ult load here. They're going to kick it up to 60%. They might, if Central Michigan can regroup fast enough and get their ducks in line, they can go for one more fight here. And yeah, it looks like Crispy Toast is going to do just that.
But if you look at the ult eco for CMU, Ball State, it's better to use those ults because you can't carry them into next round.
Yeah.
And let's say, for some reason, Central Michigan is able to come in here and steamroll the Cardinals. That still only gives them so much percentage of the point. Ball State, I think that was the right move to dump all their ults. Reaper,
Spencer
no
now
goes in there, though.
Hooper and Zach get the first real picks for Central Michigan as they find a sudden boost of momentum. We're able to find 3, and Ball State loses that match. A very uncharacteristic fast loss for Ball State as they have to regroup and fall back pretty quickly. But 94%, CMU still have a lot of ground to make up. And we'll see if they can do it. Now that we're in Ball State's territory now where they like to push this fast around the corner here. You can see already the mech coming out from Spencer. And now Pooper again with the ult. There's no boom to save him. Yakester and You Can't See Ghost are down. How do I say the name? Reaper finds another. Radical. Radical. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I was just going to call him Radical.
Radical.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Thank you, Al Szymanski.
I was thinking more Steve-O, but...
Oh, that's fair. Wow, it's the same person. Never seen him in the same room.
You really think so? The only thing
if you think about it, there's similarities. There are similarities if you really think about it.
The only thing I'm thinking about here is Ball State weathering the storm effectively enough to be able to retake this point? They have had 2 pretty significant team losses, and this might decide the game here. Reaper ult goes out. So does the Moira ult.
What a fight from Ball State. And that shuts down 2 of their ults already. Spencer and Ninja Colorfly have to respawn. Yakester's going to be on point duty, but is not able to get it. He's shut down quickly by Zach. CMU suddenly crawl their way from the grave and almost tie this game up. It looked like a Ball State easy victory, but from nowhere, Central Michigan finds the momentum they need. But now, Central Michigan, the only ult that they have coming up is Zach's. Pooper's going to take a little bit. He might get it at the end of the fight, but Ball State has 4 ults coming in. They're going to pop 3 all at the same time. None from the Tracer. You Can't See Ghost has his out. Spencer has his ult out. He's trying to clear this way. Another ult. Sound boom from Yakester. And the ult again from Pooper, and he gets the kill. This is incredible from Central Michigan, but Ravenstrider and Yakester, both the supports, find a kill. Ninja Colorfly finds a kill, gets a second. Why don't you? 99% for CMU, but Ball State has the point. Now Central Michigan has to rush fast to try to contest this, move it to overtime, but I don't think they're going to have enough time as we hit 100. Ball State wins the first game, and what a game! A second round that was.
Yeah, you want to talk about back and forth, look no further. I mean, my eyes are starting to get crossed like theirs. That's what mine looked like by the time it was over.
Is that the April Fool's?
That is the April Fool, yeah.
I kind of like it.
I don't.
Really?
No, because Blizzard, that is like the most phoned-in thing ever.
That's fair. Well, did you see what else they did for April Fools? They added a bunch of... Anyway, they changed like a bunch of things. They gave like crazy buffs to every character. Like Kiriko's thing would make... Like, her healing thing would make you jump like 300%.
Yeah, so here's the thing with that. They've been doing that since the game came out.
That's true.
So you going to tell me that out of all those years you are not going to try and innovate?
Oh, I'm not playing the game. I don't play the game anymore.
I'm just talking about Blizzard in
I'm
general.
a Helldiver, baby. Democracy.
I haven't played that in a minute.
However,
Yeah.
I offered to play for you to play like a couple days ago.
I know, and you never reached out.
I was expecting you to reach out, so that's my bad.
Well, no,
because
well,
you said you may or may not be free, so I was waiting for you to
You know
tell
what's
me whether
even
you're
more
free or not.
hilarious?
What's up?
I've reached out to you before about playing something, and you left me on red
When was it?
a while ago.
Was it Lethal Company? Well, I told you next day in class. Listen, okay. Back to the game. So CMU coming out with a very, I would say, unpredicted level of fight that they had at the end there, bringing it back.
And here's the thing. We talked about pacing. That second round.
They sped it up. They sped it up. Ball State started to slow down compared to what they were doing at the beginning of the round. And then CMU was like, hey, we'll kick it up a notch. Let's turn it to 11. And that took Ball State, pushed them back on their heels, and allowed CMU to get that point as much as they did.
Yeah,
and it got really close. Ball State, if they just been a little bit later, it would have gone to CMU point, and we'd still be on that map.
Yeah, and I just got told we were going to my least favorite map of all time, Kings Row.
The best map of all time. The greatest map of all time. I still don't. The only reason you don't like it is because you're a Junkrat main.
No, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like it.
It's the main one.
No, I don't like it because this is like the playground for Orisa.
That's also
And
true.
we know. And it's. I want to go ahead and take this second to say I loved Orisa in Overwatch 1. I was an Orisa main in Overwatch 1.
I forget how she used to play in Overwatch.
She had a deployable shield. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
hit skin. She wasn't projectile.
No, she was projectile.
Not in one.
Yes, she was. I promise you she was projectile.
And I promise you she wasn't.
I'm going to ask Otta.
But I think the shield was the biggest thing for me.
The shield was good, but also they cut back on a lot of shield characters to make the flow of the game a little bit faster, but then they upped all the health of every character, which kind of rescinded all the changes that they made beforehand.
Where's our PvE, Blizzard?
It's a great question. Did he just move the spray with the boop?
No, you can move your spray like.
No, he just.
I think you might be finally off your rocker, dude.
That could be possible, but Yakester moving like Michael Jackson. We know the movement this guy has. Off with a quick
Moving
start
like a
from
smooth
CMU.
criminal out there.
I almost started singing the song, but I don't know if I'm allowed to. So
I sang Les Mis last week on stream.
I'm not singing Smooth Criminal, Carlos. I'm sorry. I almost said smooth. I almost started singing Smooth Operator. But anyway, off to a quick start. CMU wrapping around, trying to find this high ground, already above the point. They're going to hop down in the second, or goes right there, or the hop down right already, Ray. What the heck did I just say?
West LA.
Smooth operator. Smooth operator. In perfect harmony. Now CMU.
Almost like this Ball State team.
CMU now making their way around. Ball State chased them up to the top, but now CMU has control of the point. Yakester, death from above, trying to find any picks he can. Ravenstrider goes low, he falls. That's going to be big for Ball State. First pick goes, takes out the support. Spencer now down. That's the Ball State's tank away. The only thing standing between Central Michigan and this point is Ninja Colifry, UKSC Ghost, and Yakester. Yakester can survive for a while with this movement, and so can Ninja Colifry, but UKSC Ghost is at jeopardy. So they fall back. That Maywall goes up to try to hold them back a little bit, but that's an early take from Central Michigan, which I think was a lot of movement and rotation arrows from Ball State.
And that is very similar to what happened last week as well. Yeah. Eastern Michigan very easily able to get onto the point and just cap it. And then Ball State loved, I guess they just want to play overtime. I don't know if that's what they planned on, but it's what ended up happening, and they did fantastic in overtime. I think Ball State just has a tendency to maybe come out of the gates just a tad bit slower than they should be. But a trade for one apiece here, but Ball State comes out on top with UKSC Ghost, a 3K with the round making a 4K, 2 with the ult. Another one with primary fire, it doesn't matter. You can't see Ghost, buddy, we can see you, and you are doing work.
Hey, thanks.
Incredible stuff by You Can't See Ghost, really pulling out that fight. Man, that Moira orb is annoying. Is annoying. If you want to make a change, reduce the damage that orb does. She's not a DPS character. You Can't See Ghost, blocked by the wall. They're trying that same strat again. Eastern Michigan or Central Michigan where they put that Maywall up to block off the tank from getting any healing and any support. Ninja Color Fry flanking around the back, has that ult, gonna look for one of the squishies in the back.
Oh,
he does
man.
some damage, but he's not able to find a good opportunity for that ult.
So much damage.
A lot of damage. I mean, that Tracer put in the right hands is disastrous. He's seen, he's stuck. Does he get one? He does not. Good work by Central Michigan to blow that off, but Hooper falls, and now it's just going to be pickings by Yakester. You can't see Ghost finds another. Spencer finds Crispy Toast. It just fall one by one like dominoes after the tank falls. That's how big these tank picks are. I believe Nairo was the only one that survived in that. Or no,
Yeah.
he didn't even, no, he did not survive. He was sent back as well. Nobody survived!
You want to talk about cleaning up well, you won't see a better cleanup crew than the Cardinals.
Yeah. Give him a mop.
I love alliteration so much.
I wish I was better at saying them.
It's one of my favorite things.
That
Oh man,
the
two
walls
ults
can
come
go
out
out.
here.
Ult Spencer on the payload, just trying to make some room. That's really what that ult does, aside from occasionally get some
man.
kills. And I mean, it's doing work right now. As you can see, Central Michigan barely can put up a fight with how well Ball State entangled those ults together.
Yeah, and the thing I want to point out too is, let's say Spencer dropped his ult super early on in that exchange. He would have gotten caught in that May ult. He didn't get caught in that May ult because he was mid ult when it got thrown out. So, and you
Spear
see
to the
Spencer
face.
up here just doing work. You can't see Ghost gets a pick on the other Soldier,
I
and
mean,
they can't
around
even get
the
out
back,
of the spawn
looking for
now.
a
Ninja
third.
Curly Fry pressing the issue.
Oh,
Raven
my
Strider
goodness.
adding on to the issue. Unstoppable is this force of the Cardinals. I don't think anyone can stop this team with the way they're playing currently.
No, I mean, the momentum that they have and just the way, the fluidness that they're playing right now with their movement is incredible. I mean, we've seen Ball State get stuck up before, or not stuck up, sorry, stuck on certain points before. Hung up on things before.
Oh.
Great Maywall to block that off. But just a gap is all he needs to hit some shots here. Hooper finds two. That's going to be big for CMU to finally get some momentum and push them off the point here as you can't see Ghost falls, and that's going to be the real kicker against Ball State. CMU, unless Ball State can get back to the point in time, they're going to get the second checkpoint and extend the time that they have. 1:20 left on the clock.
I'd say the thing Central Michigan is doing maybe better than Ball State in right now is picking their fights very wisely. You know, Ball State very full of momentum right now, everything going their way. They don't really care who they're fighting or how they're fighting them as long as they end up winning the fight. Central Michigan's
Here's
being a
another
lot
ult.
more frugal with who and how they're going about these fights. You know, they're trying to target the supports. You know, Ninja Koi Fry
Oh.
back here gets the damage but never gets a lot of the kills, gets one there with the help from the rest of the team. And just like
Absolutely
that, another virtual
disastrous.
team kill for Ball State. Of
Oh
course,
my
it's not
gosh.
awarded because Crispy Toast was still alive, but
Wah,
for
wah.
all intents and purposes, another team kill for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I mean, Ninja Curly Fry, when he can get around behind the team, that he can do so much damage, and the amount of damage he does is if Ball State can monopolize on it, it's a real game changer, and it can really turn the tides of whatever fight's going on. You can see him lurking up here. He could be looking for an ult. I'm telling you, 2 dashes in the ult. That's all he needs.
He only needed one! And now he needed one! It doesn't matter!
Only 1 dash. That's all he needed, and he can still dish out the damage against this Moira.
Oh, you can't see
That's the
Ghost
sound
also
barrier
coming
again.
out. All the ults coming out for both teams.
Hooper
It's
finds
overtime.
one.
They know that it's time to get this payload to the point,
Now you
or
would
they
think-
won't beat these Cardinals.
Now you would think CMU now has the advantage, and with this ult they could have, but with the way Ball State is positioning themselves, where CMU cannot find them, they're healing enough. Ball State's gonna have this kill. They don't need no tank. They got it in the hands. That's a team kill for Ball State. Round 1 complete. Ball State Cardinals take the victory there.
Very, very winnable scenario for
Yeah.
the Cardinals here. You know, making it.
I will say real quick, the score bug is a little is wrong. Central Michigan should have that point in the
No?
one. Or no, I'm sorry. No, I was looking at the wrong. Yes, that I apologize. It's in the middle there. I was looking at the wrong bug. That's my bad.
I was
You
literally
didn't
about.
do anything wrong, buddy. I'm sorry.
I was about to say
Quote, unquote,
keeping them
Spencer.
away from that point is actually crucial because
Yeah.
if they get to that point, they get more time. They get more time. They get more time to advance on this Ball State defense. Not only that, if they get it all the way there, you have to get it all the way there, and then it just forces overtime. If Ball State gets it to the same point that Central Michigan pushed it to earlier, they automatically win. And just like last week, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Some like it bot.
I'm gonna counter how many times Austin said time in that sentence.
I said it quite a few. I think
Dude.
probably 5.
Time is money. Money is time. Now going on to the second round, Ball State's going to be attacking. I was just about to say this when you were done. I want to see a Widowmaker pick here. This is what I want to see.
It's got to happen.
I
right?
want to see it so bad. And You Can't See Ghost is the person that could give it to us right here. He's looking around, seeing who he can pick. He can look for some headshots. Missed one on Moira. He finds one on Orisa.
Finds 2
Looking
on
in the
Orisa.
back. He's going to switch off, or he's going to keep going for it. He's going to keep going for it. Like the dog he is. That obstructs his vision a little bit. Oh, come on, Spencer. Okay. Hey, good tries. Now he can get back into the action. Spencer quickly moving on to the point. The rest of the team closely following behind him. A pretty tentative start here. Both teams not really doing too much damage to each other, but enough damage that Zach has to go down. Zach also finds one on Yakester. A trade that could go into Central Michigan's favor because Ball State is now down to support, but that support has to travel a lot less time than the DPS for Central Michigan.
Why did that feel like a Family Guy cutaway gag?
What?
Watching You Can't See Ghost try to hit.
It did feel like a cutaway
It
gag.
felt like a Family Guy cutaway gag.
And now
Oh
trapped
man,
in this
Wallace, this is like that one time I tried to get picks with Widowmaker on King's Row.
cut to trapped in the room. CMU can't do much, and they are taken down. That's a team kill for the game. I don't think it counted as a team kill since Zach was so far back. Oh my gosh, that was wild. That was so wild. Spear to the face, Moira.
I just realized a digital footprint is a real thing.
Yeah. When we're both far in our careers, this is going to come back one day. This is going to come back one day.
It has to. And
Well,
because
because of Twitch rules, it'll be deleted in 14 days.
This has to become a Family Guy cutaway gag now.
Yeah.
Oh man, Lois, this is just
Oh
like
man, Lois.
this is just like the time I casted for Ball State Esports.
Oh, Lois, it looks like... Oh, that's Kermit. I just started doing Kermit. Anyway, now back to the fight, which we should probably be commentating on since it is our job. You Can't See Ghost. Spencer, and Spencer again with 2. 10-player kill streak for Spencer. Can this man be stopped? No. Now, if we want to look at the ult economy real quick, I would say Ball State very, very similar, but Ball State has Yakesters coming in a little bit faster than Radicals and Zax.
Well, we also know how fast these ults charge now, so
Yeah.
let's be honest, in 2 seconds everyone can have their ult and it's not going to matter.
That Orisa ult has been detrimental in a massive game player. As we're about to see here, just trapping them all at one point. Ball State's able to get out of it pretty quickly. But Pooper with the sound barrier, both teams with the sound barrier, but Ball State is falling faster. Ninja Color Fry barely hanging on for dear life, finally get some healing. There's a sound barrier for Ball State. They both have it. The ults are being popped. All ults are out for Ball State. You Can't See Ghost is gone. He finds one. Yates finds another. Pooper finds Ninja Color Fry. You Can't See Ghost is cleaning up. Now it's just Pooper hanging on with Zach, but no need. You Can't See Ghost finds it, and Yates cleans it up. To get the second checkpoint, Ball State's going to add time to the clock. What do they need it? They still got 3 minutes and 30. And they, oh, I forgot that I'm sorry, I forgot the rules of the game. Ball State wins the second round as Googly Eyes Orisa says hi to the dog.
It doesn't matter how clean it is, as long as you get the job done, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And Ball State getting it done once again.
Completely forgot how this game worked. Gosh, it's only been a week since I've watched this game.
Whoa, this is just like that time I forgot Overwatch rules.
This is gonna be a bit. That's so nuts.
That's a nasty shot.
Yeah.
And what's crazy
Lois,
is
this is just like when I used to go into the gamer tag is You Can't See Ghosts and pop some heads to Soldier.
that I was just about to say, it seems like every week we talk about how great You Can't See Ghosts is, and they just end up doing something even better that next week.
Sorry, this is such a dumb bit. And I know we're going to keep doing it. That's the funniest part. We're not going to stop doing it.
Yeah, that's the real issue here. It's going to be like all of our highlights.
Oh, come on. You guys got to love this. This is entertaining, I think. It's entertaining for us. Next map is Cervasa, I think.
Yeah.
Cervasa.
It's never New Junk City. It's always Cervasa. The one of 2 Flashpoint maps, and this is the new game mode for Overwatch 2. It's the newest one added, so I will take a second here to explain how this works and how this goes. So it is first to 3, and it is a lot like the first map you saw. It is a control objective. However, for every 1 second is roughly 3%, I do believe. So this game moves a lot faster, and it's a lot faster paced, which we know does not play into the hands of Ball State. However, no, that is wrong. I'm not going to say that. I know for a fact that's wrong. I was going to say they haven't lost one on here, but we know for a fact they have because we casted that one where
it was nuts.
Where they both killed each other and they gave the point to
I don't remember who it was, but whoever was playing that Tracer absolutely clutched up in the back with the Tracer ult and then got a 3K, which cleared the point and allowed somebody to win. A nameless soldier to win. It was whoever had Dexter Pittman and LeBron James. It was that team.
Was it?
Yeah. Because it was Dexter Pittman.
Who was that?
Who clutched up.
I don't know why I can't remember that. Anyway, it's first to 3 on Flashpoint, so first point will open up. It'll be the market. I think that's the name of it.
I didn't even know who Dexter Pittman was.
And well, that just shows you don't know ball. But
I don't. I'm a soccer and a motorsports fan. I don't know what you expect.
Yeah. How about Man City and Arsenal? How about that?
Don't want to talk about it.
How about that?
I don't want to.
You want to talk about Premier League? Let's talk about that.
I don't want to talk. Listen, Arsenal's getting better. They're getting better. Pep said it himself. Yeah.
They're the best.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Do you have a treble? No. No treble for you. There's a treble for Man City. New documentary coming out, I believe, today. I'm going to go home and watch it.
Yeah, go ahead and watch that draw between them as well.
I already did. You know, I already did.
Wasn't that like the first time in like 26 matches that they've been held scoreless at home?
It was. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about Premier League right now. I'm a little upset with it. I'm a little upset about it. We could talk about the game. Thank you, Carlos. So, yeah, going into this map, like you said, hopefully we don't see a draw like Man City and Arsenal, which I think is impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It is impossible, but Ball State already 2-0. Currently, if they win this next game, they will go up 3-0 and win the series. Quick teleport, then switch over to Tracer. Very similar. We're going to see a very, very brawly and dive comp from Central Michigan almost.
I wonder how much it would cost.
The only thing they're missing is the Winston, but you do not want to play Winston in this current game. And there's the early dive from Reaper, trying to do some damage to you. Can't see Ghost in the back, but he ends up biting him in the butt a little bit. He has to fall back towards his team, but he gets the damage done, but it doesn't do much. But speaking of damage, Ninja Colorfry in the back, already taken down the rest of the half. So much being done by Ninja. He's gonna be a big help to taking out Pooper, Crispy Toast, Nitro, and Radical. All of them fall. Zach is the only one that still stands, and he has to fall back.
Yeah, so you see the clock.
Mauga.
You see the clock ticking up there for Ball State. You notice it moves a lot faster.
That's crazy. I could hear the team laugh in the back. That is incredibly bold pick from Central Michigan. It is not going to work out for them at all. That just allows Ball State to push up right to their spawn and absolutely devour them right now.
Well, you know what Malga says, right?
No.
Never born around me.
My name is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, that is not what he says.
You're welcome.
No, that is not what he says.
Isn't that the song he sings?
That's the song The Rock sings in the hit movie Moana.
It's the same person. I'm not singing a song, Carlos.
That is not the same
Fly
person.
me to the...
Let me play
among the stars.
Let me see.
Oh my gosh!
Let me see what you can't see Ghost
You
does,
can't see
baby.
Ghost. Malga the last one on. Give him a 4K. Overtime to take the first point. It's gonna be clocked up for Ball State. Count it. Now on to the second. Now, as we did mention before, unlike the control points at the beginning, these points are taken very, very fast to, I think it's probably...
I think it's a percentage per second.
No, that's... I don't think it's percentage per second.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. Watch how fast it counts up. It is not a second. I do not... we'll have to see in a second. But in this current fight, this Malga pick is not working out for them. I feel like they should change. Ninja Colorfy with the ult. Moira was able to get out of it quick. Tracer on Tracer. Low diff. Ninja Core, high dip, Ninja Colorfy. Radical finds 2. This could be big for CMU. Pooper into a wall. Ninja Colorfy finds Nairo. And you can't see Ghost is going to fall to Radical with the ult. CMU, I don't really know who's winning this right now. I think it's just Ninja Colorfy on the point. Spencer trying to rush back, and I think CMU is going to be able to take it. It was really hard to tell what was going on. It was very back and forth.
That Reaper ult's kind of a little head scratcher there for me. I'm not.
It takes 70 seconds to get 0 to 100 in Flashpoint. Also, Pooper running into a wall with the charge really discombobulated me on my casting for a second. I won't lie.
I was more discombobulated by that Reaper ult. You only got 1. There was only 2 people on the point, so let's say you use your ult. That's a deficit in my eyes, considering what that ult can do. But Ball State storming back onto the point here. Terrific counterattack. 4 have fallen.
So think about this Malga pick that is really puzzling me right now. And the reason I don't understand why they're not switching off it, because it has not really been a big help to CMU. Malga Pooper just gets shredded so quickly. As you can see right now, he's already below half health, and he's not healing up anytime soon, except for picking up the pack. So if they want to run this Malga ult, they have to run support super close and super attentive towards Malga if they want to have a chance of winning with him right now.
Yeah, and that Moira orb in there doing work.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned it earlier, but it is a nuisance that you just kind of don't even think about, and it just keeps chipping away health, and you go into the fight, you know, you're down 50 health. That's 50 health you want regardless. Look for an ult to come out here. Yep. Sojourn 1, rack him up. 2, maybe. Come on.
He's looking for the second one on Malga, finds it. Now onto the Reaper. Maybe the Lucio. Couldn't find that one. Reaper, done. Tracer finds the kill. But barely, Raven Strider holds on, and Zach falls, and that goes to Ball State.
You want to talk about a scrappy, knockdown, drag out, slobber knocker of a fight?
I've been waiting for that word.
You got one right there.
I missed that one. It's been a couple weeks.
Raven Strider, Moira, 1v1. Oh, what's the yay?
No.
Oh, man. I almost said Yakester because I'm so used to seeing Lucio and Yakester.
I was about to say, this is the first time in a while we've been able to see the other team's POV since the Miami game. So now moving on to the next point, Ball State has the advantage. They're already close. They spawn closer to this point, and they're already in motion to this point because for some reason CMU wanted to continue to battle on the point that was already taken, which I'm still questioning that.
Could be the move. I respect it.
Now Ball State's going to try. This is a lot of what's going on. Orisa ults down. It does not pick anything up. It finds 3. Radical finds 2. Pooper finds Spencer. This could go CMU's way unless Ninja Colorfy could have something to say for it. I think CMU is going to come out on top on that. Spencer was able to find 3, but response from Radical.
And these are the games.
It did take out Pooper, and that was the big kicker right there. Ball State's tank fell, and while CMU's was still standing.
These are the things that I love about these just scrappy fights, especially, like I said earlier, no knock against Central Michigan, but they just aren't having the season
on a tear right now.
Finds 2. Can they get 3?
He's going to find 3. He's going to find 3. This isn't even a question. Hey, we're going to count that. You can't see. Ghost finds us two piece of his own. Raven Strider finishes off with Radical. That's a full-on team kill now. Now, 43%
fully
CMU.
recognized team kill.
Fully recognized.
Thank you.
But
official.
That's what I love about these games, especially
in-season counted.
Especially like these back-of-the-pack runners. They're going to go in there. They're going to give you all that you can handle and then some. And they're leaving everything on the table. They are all in, chips all in. They've got the hand that they think can win them this fight and the game. So we'll see if it can come through fruition. Will the boyhood dream come true?
Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
Come on, man!
Oh my goodness! That is crazy. He's gonna look for another. Ult comes
Eviscerated
out. Ult comes out.
Great
so
beat
does
there.
the sound barrier.
Yeah.
That was a good counter, but Raven Strider with the ult from Moira is gonna nullify that as well. A lot of ults are coming out at the right time. Perfectly, Spencer uses his, gets some extra health, and get a kill on top of that. Malga, he's the only one left. it's just going to leave. I believe Nairo or maybe Zach. Zach is the left, and he gets a spear to the face to end the round. Overtime's going down. Pick up your check at the door, CMU. Ball State is back in motion.
I said it last week or a couple weeks ago, get Spencer in the Olympics the way he loved to throw that javelin. With utmost precision as well.
Hey, shout out to Zach, play of the game as Tracer. Those googly eyes are super off-putting.
So we see there Zach getting the pick on Ninja Curly Fry, goes in, gets 2 more, and gets another for good measure. But doesn't matter. Ball State wins 3-0 here tonight against Central Michigan, continuing their march towards the playoffs and hopefully another spot in the finals.
Yeah, and I think it was good. It was a good scrap, especially at the beginning. I would say the only really one of the really good fights that we saw was during that second control map when Central Michigan started to come back and they almost equalized the percentage really early on, where we thought they were completely down, but they got revitalized and crawled out of their grave, fought tooth and nail to try to win that fight, but just didn't work out for them. So good fight from CMU. I'm really excited to see about the results from the around the ESC tonight.
Especially that Kent State Western Michigan game.
Yeah, that's going to be big to decide if Kent State is going to secure their spot in the playoffs, or I think they're probably already secured, but there is that small chance, you know, and you don't want to let those small chances linger. You want to make sure you're secured. So if they win that match against CMU or WMU, too many Michigans. Figure your name. Just think of a different name.
Central, Western,
just think of a different name.
Eastern Michigan.
Just think of a different name. But that will kick WMU out of the chances of a playoffs completely and keep Kent State in.
And it's all, like I said, it's always interesting when it comes down to the wire here, especially in the ESC, as far as really any esport is concerned, Rocket League, Valorant, League of Legends, and or Overwatch. Just the level of competition is really what drives so many close games this far into the season, which I do think we are getting an interview. I'm not sure.
I think we have Raven.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what's happening. Well, we... Okay.
Maybe we
He's
don't have
coming.
an interview.
No, he's coming. We're interviewing Raven.
Oh, okay.
Mice. That was me. Yeah, I'm glad you picked that up. I'm glad you picked that up. I respect that. Raven, congrats on the win tonight. I'm sure that's refreshing. The last 2 weeks have been refreshing, especially after the NEU and Miami loss. How has those losses affect your guys' preparations to these games? Did you feel your momentum picking back up from where it left off?
Yeah, I think, I mean, Miami was a tough loss.
Yeah.
Like at least, I'm speaking for me, I love playing Miami. It's so much fun to play against those guys. But like, I would say I'm not at all disappointed in how we played against Miami. They're a good team, and we've gone through, a couple changes internally. So I'm proud of how we performed against them. NEU, I think that one was a little bit of a struggle. That was a tough mental one, because I think we could have played better. I think we all know we could have played a lot better against them. But coming back into it, you got to get back into the swing of things. If you let one loss take you out of the whole season, why are you here? So I think that's mostly what we're trying to get back to, is like, we know we can beat these teams, be at the level where we can beat these teams and are actually beating them, rather than just theoretically beating them.
Yeah, I like it. And I do know, I just want to point out that we mentioned it during the Miami game. You guys practiced during a tornado.
Yes.
For the Miami. I would like to point that out. A couple weeks ago, we had a tornado scare. It was like I think, how many miles was it? It was like 10.
Oh, it's like right here. Yeah.
It was like 10 miles or 20 miles away.
Is it 6, 7?
7.
I can
7
count,
miles
it's fine.
away. Okay, it just looked like you did L and a 5. So, like, I don't know if that's your
One,
battleships call out.
2, 3.
Okay, 7 miles away.
It was pretty close.
There was a tornado, and these guys stayed here to practice after the NEU loss, and I just think that's really cool. Like, you guys, like, it's like, hey, there's a tornado.
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Well, it was funny, 'cause
Overwatch.
I was in here and the Val guys all left, and I was like, why are they leaving? And someone's like, there's a tornado. I said, oh. And I went back to
I was like, oh, man.
That's like the most Midwestern thing ever.
It is.
Virginia.
You were probably posted up at the window. You said,
Yeah. I saw the pictures. I mean,
in your Corn Indy 11 jersey.
Oh man, coveralls.
Dude, yeah, I see it. Oh man, but yeah, hey, congrats on tonight. First of all, I would like to point out spring games tomorrow. We're gonna crush it. Just want to say that real quick. Team, yeah, Carlos in my ear saying really loudly. I'm gonna turn him down. Team number, lucky 13.
lucky 13. Yeah, lucky
Excited.
numbers.
Yeah, but what you guys are heading up to the last game of the season next week. I just want to hear what are your thoughts going into the playoffs and how far do you think you are able to go in the playoffs, and if you guys think you're going to pull it all the way once again?
Well, the goal, of course, is to win ESC.
Right.
Like, that is the ultimate goal. I think, like, it's like I said, like, I don't want to knock NEU. Now, NEU is a very good team. I think we should have beaten them. I think we should beat them. So I think that's, for me, that's a big personal one, is, like, don't lose to them again. Because as good as they are, I think we can beat them and play a lot better than we did. Miami is always the tough one. I think Miami will be, it could be based on the day, it could be based on the meta. Because sometimes I'll look at Miami and I'm like, I think they're the better team today. And then some days I'm like, no, we're the better team. So I would say, yeah, I don't think we'll get lower than semi. That would surprise me if we didn't make it to semifinals. I mean, but I think it'll be us versus Miami if I have to make a prediction.
Yeah.
I think that's the same prediction a lot of people probably share. You know, you guys, they played a hell of a game. Like, I say they played the perfect game against you guys just a couple, 3 weeks ago up there on that stage.
Yeah.
You know, it was the perfect game to play in order to beat you guys. And then following that, Eastern Michigan, you dropped the first round. There's been a lot of talk about momentum. I want to talk about the mindset of yourself personally and the team. You know, you went undefeated, I do believe, last year, all the way until the championship. You come in this year, very high hopes, defending champions. You dropped the first game after spring break.
They lost one game last year. A single game. I think one game.
Miami might have taken.
No, I think it was
match?
one of the Northern.
I don't think so.
I believe it was one game because I remember the conversation I had with
We play a lot of
Oh, yeah.
Overwatch, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll be honest with
Regardless,
you.
won the
Play a lot of this.
championship last year.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
No, I
I'll
get
stop
you.
talking.
Makes sense.
So I feel like it's been a lot of back and forth. You know, the season, a lot of challenges have been presented, like you said, internal struggles as much as, you know, just playing the game. What is your mindset, all of this included, going into the playoffs, knowing that you want to beat NEU, you want to beat Miami, but you have to get there first?
I would say be better than you were yesterday. I think that's for me what
love
it
that.
is. I mean, you're gonna have games where you're just like off. Like that's just gonna happen. You're gonna have like weeks when you're off. You're gonna have games where you're just not playing well together as a team. I think like the important thing is be like, okay, like this didn't work. Why isn't it working? And then be better tomorrow. Because I mean that's why you practice so much. Is we play 2-hour practices like every other day at this point. I think we practice like 4 times a week. I think for 2 hours we VOD like once or twice a week. And the thing is, if you take nothing away from it, you stagnate. You don't go anywhere. But if you say, okay, I can fix one thing between the next 24 hours, and then you actually do it, you get a lot better. And that's my thing. I think that's pretty key. And I think we definitely have weeks where we do that a lot more than other weeks. And you know, myself, I'll miss days, of course.
Yeah.
But I think I think that's the goal, is be better than yesterday.
I love that. I think the two biggest things that you said today in this interview were somewhat our losses don't define us, or like our single losses don't define us. Losses happen, and then what you just said, like that's just getting better every day. I feel like that's the staple of this team. How we I'll rope it all the way back. Adaptability. The big letters right there coming up. Adaptability. Right over Raven's head. Adaptability. That's
Reading
where it
Rainbow.
is.
Yeah.
Yep. Like imagination. But yeah, that is something I admire about all of you guys. I mean, we see you in that quarter almost every single day, and I admire so much. And I'm so excited to see what you guys do next week. So it's gonna be awesome.
I got nothing else.
Should be fun.
I'm done.
Right.
I've been informed I got to shout some people out.
Okay.
So my folks watch. I think both my parents watch and my grandparents watch. So hello, if you're still watching. I don't know why you are, but hello.
Hi, Ravens
Maybe it's for
family.
me. I appreciate it. So there it is.
Awesome. Well,
Thank
hey,
you.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. See
Yep.
you tomorrow for some
Yeah,
games.
see you tomorrow. Summer games. Ready to kick some butt. Lucky 13. Brought us in the second seed with my racing. Fell only to a leaf, which I feel like is a good good standard to have. But I think overall, fun. Whoa. You just had like a. What does that look for? You gave me the.
Yeah, don't ever hit me with that again.
What?
Not something about that made me feel uncomfortable.
That's what you just did to me.
I'm looking at you like I normally did.
It was slow. It was a slow turn, and it scared me. Okay, I see where the uncomfortable comes from. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That was a great game. Next week we play.
We will play.
We will play. Whoever we play next week.
We will play Overwatch.
There will be Overwatch next week and the weeks coming on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Devin, also known as DP28_media. We're playing Bowling Green next week. DP28_media.
That's actually massive for the playoffs.
That is really massive for the playoffs. Depending on how Bowling Green did tonight, we'll see what happens.
They could have sealed their own fate.
They could have sealed their own fate. It depends if they could cause a massive upset to Ball State again. But we also said the same thing about tonight. So, but as I was saying, I'm Devin, otherwise known as DP28_media on Instagram.
My name's Austin. Some people call me some very unkind things that I would rather not repeat.
Wow, it's just getting more and more lore every week that we get from that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week for some Bowling Green action in Overwatch 2.